All right, I'm just going to get down to business right away. Kingdom Hearts 4 has been announced. I have made some comments about what I feel about this. Go watch those shorts on my channel. But honestly, this video was going to be a live, and I was also going to do it for the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, but that already passed. And the fact that I didn't know that it already passed just shows where we're at right now when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. All my faves are struggling. Resident Evil is struggling right now. For those who think that it's not because they're just trying to bank on nostalgia and the fans without giving anything, literally no fan is satisfied, yet we're being saturated with content in terms of movies, freaking series that no one asked for, Infinite Darkness, stuff like that. But we're not here to talk about Resident Evil. We are here to talk about Kingdom Hearts, the failure of Kingdom Hearts, the rise and fall of Kingdom Hearts. And this video is going to have to be cut into different portions in order for me to get everything I have to say out. If I can help it, I will be putting timestamps in the description. Always read the description, by the way. If I make a mistake, I might not always have time to re-upload a video. I'm going to let you know that I made a mistake or something I don't agree with anymore. Whatever. Read the description. The description is key. It's half the video. I don't understand why it would be there if it's not necessary. So, always read the description. Link is in the description to my Kingdom Hearts playlist. If you want my opinion on Kingdom Hearts 3, there are a lot of videos, even my first video that I uploaded on YouTube, aside from the small one that was a test video. I discussed Kingdom Hearts 3 literally right after I was exposed to it, after I bought Deluxe Edition for no reason because it was pointless and nothing really came from it that I really wanted or cared about. But let me talk about each part of this video. So the first part, we're going to be discussing the audacity of Kingdom Hearts 4. The audacity you have to even be announced, to even have any sort of display of gameplay, any animated scenes at all, any animated cutscenes at all, for the fact that you failed in making Kingdom Hearts 3. You had bootleg disgusting, busted up worlds. I don't care what they look like. If you just, hey, like I said in my video about Kingdom Hearts 3, if you wanted a movie, just make a freaking gosh darn movie. If you wanted it to look like a movie, if you wanted to use assets from a movie, you could have made a movie, bro. We did not need Kingdom Hearts 3 at that time, especially if that's all we were going to get. Brave was out at that time. We never went to LILO and Stitch World for a dying second, but you're going to use Stitch every 2 seconds. You know how many worlds were... I'm not even going to get into it. If you want to know my opinions about what worlds that could have been, I've got a video about that. It's already out. Enjoy. But clearly, they've got some mitigated gall to be coming at us with an announcement, not only an announcement, but scenes from Kingdom Hearts 4. There should be no scenes at all. What you need to worry about is that funky, disgusting story that you have. This is funky. So after all this time, you've already set the precipice that you are making side stories and side games. You insist on going directly from 3 into a melody game that is trash and garbage to Kingdom Hearts 4. The next part of the video is going to be about Kingdom Hearts 3 and how it needs a rewrite before even considering Kingdom Hearts 4. And I will be rewriting it, and I will be telling you how it'll go down. A lot of things will be omitted, and I will let you know what things are omitted when I talk about it. And the third part of the video is the 5 failures of Kingdom Hearts. Literally 5 things are the reason why Kingdom Hearts is failing today. I don't care if you like it. I really don't. If you like Kingdom Hearts 3, you love Kingdom Hearts 3, this isn't the place for you. Go find another video where someone's sucking the teat of Kingdom Hearts 3 and talking about how the graphics are great and how they loved Elsa and how they loved Anna for the millionth time and how they heard that you want to build a snowman for the billionth time. Okay? If you want to hear the real truth, you can stay. But there are 5 things that destroyed Kingdom Hearts. Even with 4, I was willing to give you grace. But 3 should be where we should, 3 strikes and you're out. But 5 problems. So it's going to be a long one. If you don't like long videos, I suggest you pause it because YouTube does that. You can pause it anytime you feel. When you feel like coming back to it, you can come back to exactly where you left off. Simple. So let's start on the first part. Kingdom Hearts 4, the audacity to exist. Like, before we can even discuss what I saw in this, this sorry disgrace, this sorry excuse for a video game announcement, we have got to get through all the Kingdom Hearts. So, this is a very broke down, raggedy series. It's raggedy. For those who don't think so, like I said, the door. I don't need to hear you complain about how someone's hating on your favorite game. You know how many videos are dedicated on this platform to sucking the testicles of Kingdom Hearts? Go there. Let's talk about every single Kingdom Hearts game by release date, in order by release date. First, I will be doing by release date. Then I will be doing chronological order. And then I will be doing worst to best. So here we go. By release date, we have Kingdom Hearts 1, Rechain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts 2, 358 over 2 days. Birth by freaking Sleep. Recoded. Dream Drop Distance. Union freaking Cross. Birth by Sleep, Fragmentary Passage. Yeah, they're calling that a game. They're calling that freaking DLC that should have been a DLC, should have been in the actual game, not DLC actually. A game. Then Kingdom Hearts 3, then Dark Road. And I bet just the regular run-of-the-mill Kingdom Hearts fan that's watching this video is wondering, what is Recoded? What is Dream Drop Distance? What is Union Cross? What is Dark Road? What in the world is Birth by Sleep? The only thing I can tell you about Kingdom Hearts is it's got some gall. Nomura got some gall. He got some gall. He got big, humongous gall. 2 of them. He got 2 galls. Because I can't understand why you would dare begin to even tell us that you are in the progress of making Kingdom Hearts 4 after giving this disgusting, putrid eye poison that is Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, for those people who are questioning what these games are, let's go through it chronologically, shall we? Now that we heard by release date when these freaking games came out, let's talk about chronological order in the order of the timeline. Say it be. Now, I'm going to be giving them my own number, so you're going to have to keep up. You're going to have to keep up. Maybe get a pencil and paper. Maybe get your phone, go in the little note section and start taking notes. This is going to be the best timeline that you have ever heard. I have watched countless videos of people talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I have played and watched every single cutscene movie on YouTube that has something to do with Kingdom Hearts and their games. And I am still confused about some things. Just imagine the casual player of Kingdom Hearts who's only played the numerals, the main solid numerals, not even the final mixes. Not even the final mixes. Imagine the people who are... I won't even talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it, all right? Let's get down to it. So, I will be giving these games my own number, and I'll let you know what the actual number of it is, if it even was given a number. So keep up, have pen, paper, let's go. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is a game you can only play on your phone. And now it's inactive, except it's active for a different game. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is -3 because we're not even at the actual story yet. We are in the negative. We're on the negative side of a freaking number line. -2, we have Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. It's a phone game. It's about prequel stuff I don't care about, honestly. I don't care about it. I don't care about Xehanort. I don't care. I'll explain to you why I have no interest in Xehanort at all. -1 is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. The final mix is the ultimate canonical story. So if you don't know what happened in Final Mix, you are freaking left in the dark. Birth by Sleep. It was on PlayStation 3 in 2014, PS4 in 2017, and Xbox One in 2020. Now it is on the Nintendo Switch as of 2021. Somewhere down the line, it was on PC and originally on portable PlayStation. In my opinion, the first side game to ever ruin the series and add nothing but confusion. Seeing young Zexion not speak, or seeing young Axel and young Sayax as friends wasn't worth the extra crap that made Kingdom Hearts incomprehensible. The whole reason Sora is special is because he had a Keyblade. This game made every person special, especially considering the years being too close to Kingdom Hearts 1 that it takes place. Aqua, Terra, Xehanort should have been from thousands and thousands of years before Kingdom Hearts 1, not 10 years or 20 years. And I still have no idea exactly what yearage it is because they don't specifically tell you in game. And if they do, how are we supposed to remember all this? How? Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was the beginning of the end for me. The moment I saw Birth by Sleep, I don't care if we saw freaking Cinderella. I really don't care. Especially since Gus Gus sounded crazy. You're playing people for fools if you think that Birth by Sleep is anything but a wrench in the whole system. Adding Xehanort did nothing but ruin the series for me. It's one of the 5 reasons why Kingdom Hearts is almost lost to darkness. Kingdom Hearts 0, I like to call it, is actually Kingdom Hearts 0.2, a fragmentary passage, originally released on PlayStation 4 in Japan, now on Xbox One, in the 2.8 final chapter mix thing. I have no idea what that is, because I don't have it. It recounts Aqua's time in the realm of darkness. I liked the premise of this, but it really should have been a DLC for Birth by Sleep. And actually it shouldn't have been, because everyone who knows how I feel about downloadable content from my Resident Evil videos is a good example. Sidebar, Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 has some of the most interesting DLCs that should have been in the game. It shouldn't have been a DLC. It should have been in the game. And I will be talking about what should have been in the game again later down the line when I talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. But this passage crap where you're playing Aqua for a little bit, that should have been in Birth by Sleep. Stop adding extra stuff and then being like, well, this is a side game. And if it was going to be anything, it should have been a DLC. It can't stand on its own. It can't. It's not enough. Now we're finally at Kingdom Hearts 1. Just 1. I played it on PlayStation. Best game in my opinion. It's available now on PlayStation 3 and 4, PC, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, all that jazz. We finally get to see Sora's story with side story Riku, who at launch wasn't given half of what Final Mix gave him. And I like Final Mix, but any additions not related to the definition or graphics or even dub should have been either DLC, or how about put it in the original release? Stop building on existing games. Make another. You're not afraid of doing that, Nomura. So go all in. Don't half-A it. But literally, it was Sora's story. Riku was literally a side story. And Kairi was nothing. Now, as it stands, Sora is the main story. Riku actually has a little bit more story, and Kairi's still nothing. She's still nothing. Absolutely nothing. Trash. So, oh my gosh. Okay. I gotta breathe. I can't do this. The next game, chronologically, is 1.2, or what they like to call it, Kingdom Hearts Rechained Memories. It was originally released on PlayStation 2, which is where I played it. It's now PS3, 4, and Game Boy Advance. Like I said, I played it on the PlayStation 2, and it kept freaking crashing. So I never got to finish the freaking game, but I did watch cutscene movies, and at this point, why don't you just make movies or shows or something? I am so sick of this game. Because you can't make $60 on a movie per unit. You can't. Possible, but no one's actually going to do that. In my opinion, Kingdom Hearts Rechained Memories is the best side game Nomura had to offer, as it builds on characters who we're supposed to care about, but two things ruin this game, making it one of the most miserable experiences in Kingdom Hearts history. One, the gameplay, where you had to play cards and not fight like we were expecting to, coming off of Kingdom Hearts 1. Literally coming off of Kingdom Hearts 1. That's what we were dealing with, playing freaking card games. Like, where did that the freak come from? Nomura, I'm talking to you. Hello. And to Naminé. The introduction of Naminé is one of the 5 mistakes. One of the 5 reasons Kingdom Hearts fell from grace. Everything could have happened the exact same if you took Naminé out, and things she affected could have changed. Marluxia's powers that were seemingly like you can change people's minds and make them pass out like freaking Naminé was doing, they make Marluxia do that in Kingdom Hearts 3. So what was the point of Naminé if he could do that? I am asking a question no one has an answer for. Exactly. Oh my gosh. You could have utilized Zexion more because he actually has an illusion power. Literally, give every organization member more to do except stand in the darkness of a basement. Literally, half of the game's cutscenes were them sitting in the darkness in the basement talking about, Like, I felt like I was on regular show. Really, what is this? I hate Naminé for being one of the reasons one of my favorite series died. She was unnecessary. If he would have just spent more time characterizing the organization members that we're supposed to care about for 2, the purpose of Rechained Memories is to distance Sora from Riku and explain away why Organization 13 is like Organization 5 in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's disgusting. It was a waste of time and it was pointless. The next Kingdom Hearts I call Kingdom Hearts 1.5, aka Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Originally, it was on the Nintendo DS. Unsure if you can get it on any other console or even the PC. So as it stands, to get halfway through the Kingdom Hearts story, you need a phone game, a PS2, a PS3 or 4, or an Xbox or a PC. You need at least 4 consoles to understand part way through this series, and we are not done yet. We aren't done. The platform problem is one of the 5 failures of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days is the only other game I like, as it gives a tad more personality to the organization members through missions and the gray area. You can get some neat dialogue from the members resting before or after a mission. Instead of going right into Kingdom Hearts 4, why not remaster 300 over 2 days as an actual game on PlayStation or Xbox, so we can play as Roxas, see the organization members, and get good gameplay with better graphics, not on some freaking small little screen of Nintendo DS freaking screen. Freaking trash garbage. You disgusting, pathetic. Anyway, like literally, like honestly, like to be honest, I feel like people would appreciate a Netflix original series revolving around the organization 13 members. And I'm not talking about no replica Riku or no Xehanort from 1875, okay? I'm talking about Marluxia, Larxene, Axel, Sayax, the actual organization 13 members, not placeholders. Literally, they're literally called placeholders in the game, literally. This game is a joke. People like me who are actually criticizing the game for what it is actually keeping it going, to be honest. You should be thanking us, because we're actually telling you what you can do and you just don't listen. But literally 350 over 2 days. The only good thing about it is there's this thing where you can watch a movie. Literally, like I said, you're just making movies, except we're paying video game prices for movies. They have cutscenes where they look really good, but literally the graphics look like think of the worst Nintendo DS game you could ever possibly think of. I remember playing Nintendo DS, and it was even a Game Boy game. Freaking Donkey Kong Country. I played that game on my Nintendo DS. My Nintendo DS was pink, and I would freaking play that on the bus. What is interesting to me is that game was older than the DS. It only fit in there because it was a console that was created after the Game Boy. How is it that Donkey Kong Country looks better than Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days? Now, I'm not going to look this up because I really don't give a darn. I just know for a fact. It feels older. It's inexcusable how bad the graphics are. It's inexcusable that it wasn't remastered by now. And it's unacceptable that you would go on to make Kingdom Hearts 4 when so many of these flaws are evident throughout the entire series. Let's go to the next one, all right? The next one is Kingdom Hearts 2. There's no special number about this one, except there's a final mix with this too, that he adds extra crap that wasn't in there to begin with. I played it on PlayStation 2. You can play it in the remastered edition, PS4 or Xbox One. So that's cool, I guess. I think where Kingdom Hearts 2 went wrong was even acting like it was going to be a true succession to Kingdom Hearts 1 and adding Roxas and Naminé. I would eventually grow to like Roxas, but I never liked Naminé. She's a MacGuffin that does not need to exist. That you're just literally dragging her over the coals just for her to even be here. You're literally dragging her from HE double hockey stick, literally from Hades. For what, though? No one was even asking where Naminé was. It's just to give Riku a freaking playmate or a freaking girlfriend because you made him one of the loners of the trio. Someone's going to be left out in a trio. There's 3 people, unless they're all going to be in one united relationship. And Kairi ain't got enough characterization to even be a love interest. She's just an object, Nomura. You made her an object. Just like you made Naminé a thing to do things and not even have any personality. She's just, oh, I like my friends. I like the. Like, why is she even here? Why does she even care? Why does she use her powers for evil? That would be more exciting than just good for good's sake. We had Sora for good's sake. We don't need a bunch of goody good goods. Riku was interesting because he wasn't like that. And you even ruined his character. Everyone's comedic relief now. I feel like I'm in a Marvel movie. It's super dumb. The way you wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to be the Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, whatever, I think it's interesting because as much as you wanted that, it was so not. It didn't even have half of the building up to that. Despite however many side stories you decided to make, I still didn't care by the end. I still didn't care. I'll get to Kingdom Hearts 3 when we get to it. We're still talking about 2 right now. Little sidebar here. Taking out Roxas and Naminé entirely. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 should have been about Riku's story, and we should have been playing as Riku. Unpopular opinion. All you had to do was make Xion Kairi's nobody, call her Erizia or something, put an X in the middle of Kairi's name. I don't know where you got Xion from. If the X is supposed to represent the addition to the name of the somebody. Who's Xian's somebody? Oh, she's a clone. So what? It just doesn't make any sense. You had nowhere to go with Xian, and then you bring her back for some reason. Bringing Roxas and Xian back takes away from what was the even point of killing them. What was the point of my tears? I literally cried when Roxas said that my vacation's over. I cried when I saw that. I hated Roxas when I first saw him because I'm like, who are you? Why are you doing this to me? You don't look nothing like Sora. Axel and Lee look one and the same. Syax and Issa look one and the same. Enzio and Zexion look one and the same. I don't understand why you thought it was a good idea to make Roxas look like a different character because you wanted everything to be hidden in secret, and then Vanitas and then Ventus. All that crap, like I said, Birth by Sleep was one of the worst things to ever happen to Kingdom Hearts. It just ruins everything. It throws everything on the floor. All the little dominoes that you were putting out to set up for a big thing, just throw them all. Just don't even make them slow tip over so we can actually see the coolness. Just fall on them so that we don't see anything. That is the exact feeling I have when I think of anything that came out of Birth by Sleep, which includes Vanitas, Ventus, Aqua, Terra, Xehanort. All of them. Unacceptable. Ansem the Wise, BS. We still haven't talked about Diz. We still have not talked about Diz. We still don't know what's going on with that. Why he was so hostile towards Sora and Roxas and like... Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep going. Like I said, all you had to do was turn Xian into Kairi's nobody and exclude Naminé altogether, because Naminé is just dead weight, and nothing about her except her being a girl makes me think or believe she's Kairi's nobody. She don't look nothing like her. Her hair's different, her eyes different. Like I said, all the rest of the nobodies match up together. What's so special about them? You give us no reason. You gave us some half BS reason that Sora and Roxas don't look the same, because Ventus's heart was inside Sora while he was this and that, and that's why he did that. Okay, let's just say that. Naminé just looks like a girl. Nothing about her. Did she dye her hair blonde? Did Albert Wesker attack her and put her in some Ouroboros and her hair turned blonde? She looks nothing like Kairi. She just has blonde hair, and she's a girl, and she's white. Or I don't know if they're supposed to be white or Asian. You literally made no distinction. They live on an island. You didn't even give any clarification on that either. I gotta breathe. Naminé's powers are basically a MacGuffin that don't relate back to Kairi at all. Her inclusion in the story could have easily been scrapped, and as of 2022, she's just a robot anyway. That and the world seem far less magical than in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is just less special to me. It's less special. Kingdom Hearts 1 had its flaws, and no one is going to tell you and say every game that has ever come out ever in the history of gaming history came out perfect and is perfect today. There's graphic issues, dialogue issues, voice acting issues. Everything is different. Even the hardcore fan of Resident Evil will tell you that Resident Evil hasn't always been best when it comes to the freaking dialogue or even writing, to be honest. If you want to be completely honest, and if you don't want to freaking suck the teat of Resident Evil just for teat sucking sake. Nothing came perfect. Nothing pulled up perfect. I love Sleeping Dogs, the game, but it did not show up perfect. And a lot needs to change if they're going to adapt it into a movie, series, or another game. A lot needs to change. So when I hear people talking about how no one should be upset at a video game because this, that, and the other, or, oh, well, one wasn't so perfect. I didn't say it was. I said Kingdom Hearts 1 is more special to me than Kingdom Hearts 2. There are different worlds, yes. I loved going to Pride Rock. What I didn't love was the fact that there was nothing but barren waste, and you move two spaces and you're into another space where it loads into a different part. We don't even get to move around the Pride lands. You walk 2 steps and there's a cutscene, and then you're in another place afterwards. You walk 2 steps and then it loads into another place where you are sitting there with your party members. Kingdom Hearts 2 was pathetic when it came to those freaking worlds. And from 1 to 2, you'd think you'd get enough sense to fill the Colosseum to the brim like it sounded like. People screaming for Hercules when nobody was in the Colosseum watching. All you had to do was copy and paste people. Like, I really don't understand why there was nobody in the Colosseum. It's unacceptable. There's no excuse. Unless freaking Jesus came down and said, Nomura, you cannot have anyone in the Colosseum or else you will die instantly. I don't understand why he didn't have any people in the Colosseum. Now, you can go on any person's YouTube page and find that they like Kingdom Hearts and then find another person, and we will not be saying the same stuff. There is almost nothing that is being said universally by every fan of Kingdom Hearts except the fact that everyone loved the Colosseum and what it brought, especially in 2. To get rid of it in 3 and make us go to Thebes like we asked to go to Thebes, or even go to Olympus. I'd never said I wanted to go to Olympus. I thought it was really strange that Hades was open, the underworld was open, but the clouds weren't. But I understand because we couldn't, because we weren't gods. That was understood in the movie. You can't go up unless you were God, even though Megara, or whatever her name was up there. And maybe she's undead or whatever, but still, okay? But still. You omitted the Colosseum in 3 for what reason? For everyone to be upset? For us to play some game in the sky in the gummy ship? Like, no one wants that. The gummy ship, to me, is the worst part of Kingdom Hearts. I really don't want to be flying nowhere. I feel like the gummy ship is made for a small percentage of people who fall in line with the fandom of Kingdom Hearts because it feels like a different game. There are different aspects, and that's fine. Different aspects to the game make it interesting. It just gives it an extra seasoning. But what I don't like is the fact that you omitted the Colosseum. And the Hades tournament was better, and it was cool. It could have been better. That's why I'm just sitting here like, nobody tell me that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be better than Kingdom Hearts 3, because we thought that Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be better than 2. It just was worse. It was worse, I'm telling you. Alice in Wonderland had to be the best rendition of a movie, even though there were some parts where it seemed like you were alone. You could talk to the flowers, and like I said, games don't come correct all the time. 100% correct. If Kingdom Hearts 1 were to be remade today, or remastered, or something, I feel like more voice actors should be utilized, because a lot of things were just pop-up bubbles. I didn't necessarily like Peter Pan's world in 1 because a lot, and I'm not here to talk about that. But what I am going to say is I felt like the worlds of Kingdom Hearts 1 felt more alive and magical than Kingdom Hearts 2. And the fact that it could even be compared so closely for like more than 1 year to go by for you to understand what could have been wrong in the first one to the second one, it's embarrassing and a disappointment that we would go to Mulan's world and nobody's in the streets. Nobody's there. Barren wasteland. And then we get to 3. And there are some people here, some people there, but it's a closed off space. Half of what we used to have in freaking, we don't even get Hollow Bastion. We just see it in cutscenes. I'm done talking about 2. And I'll talk about 3 when we get to 3. Let's talk about another reason why Kingdom Hearts fell. I call it 2.3, but they call it Kingdom Hearts Recoded. This DSBS game, not even real events that happen in the story. It's all to explain like one note that was left in Jiminy's journal, like thank nominee or something crazy. I really don't understand. Like, he has to be snorting something. Someone, whoever's behind this, whoever's behind it has to be sitting there laughing in their mansion, thinking that anyone spent 1 cent on this stupid, disgusting game. Who says that Recoded is their favorite game? Who says Recoded is their favorite game? I can guarantee you that at least 50% of the Kingdom Hearts fandom don't even know about Recoded. It goes without saying, I barely even watched the cutscenes for this game. It's such a pathetic, sorry excuse for a game. I'm done. I'm gonna move on. The next game is called, I call it 2.4, but they call it Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Never played it, never will. It's on Nintendo 3DS, and it's fodder that takes place after the events of Kingdom Hearts 2, showing Riku pass and Sora fail their Keyblade exams. And within 10 games, literally, this is like the 10th game, right? Kairi is still pointless and useless, powerless and useless, powerless, useless, good for nothing, trash. Kairi is garbage. No one cares about Kairi. She's just an object for two boys to carry over their shoulders. It's trash. In my opinion, Sora should have passed his exam. There's no narrative reason to not let him pass his exam, except to keep him at base 1, which made no sense because all you had to do was make him strong. What was the point of 1 and 2 making him strong for us to just go back to being trash? And then he's overpowered in 3. It would have been easy to just say he's a master now, and then we're going to make the game about Kairi. I really don't care who would be upset about that, because we've had about 9 games with Sora as the main character, even when it wasn't really a game or wasn't really Sora, like in freaking Recoded. I feel like we're done with Sora. Like, Kairi should have been the main protagonist for Kingdom Hearts 3, but no. Sexism got in the way. Something got in the way. If you hate your mom, just say that. Don't take that out on your art. Literally. If your sister stole something from you when you were a baby, how about you not carry that with you your whole life and make it to where Kairi can't be the main protagonist because you just salty about that. And something that I want to talk about was the fact that Dream Drop Distance, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, because there's so many games that are pointless, that's where Lee and Enzio wake up and stuff. And I think it's really interesting that Enzio has no hard feelings for Axel literally having him killed. Like, what a sorry excuse for a game. It's literally just a semi-rehash filled with filler to make things make sense when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3, which is the next game. This game I got on Xbox One Deluxe Edition for trash. It came with a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade that was digital, that it gave you a password or a passcode to put in. And I still have it to this day because I have nowhere to put it. I don't know where I put it. When I tried to put it into Xbox, it said it wasn't enough numbers. There's no place to put it in Kingdom Hearts. When you put it in, when you turn it on, please tell me how you put it in there, how you get the thing, because I have never been able to find out how. It's not like I'm going to play it anyway, but it came with this whole tapestry, if you can call it that, of Sora and Woody on a freaking tapestry when it's a world that's not real. It's a double-sided world because they didn't want to explain why Sora wasn't a human when all you had to do was say, Andy's coming, fall down. It could have been a freaking mechanic of the game. How can someone who has never made a video game make your game better than people who literally get paid to do so? And then Kingdom Hearts 3, if you want to know my full opinion about Kingdom Hearts 3, link is in the description to those videos. I promise you. I say everything I need to say there. But this movie doesn't even look that great. It's just bright and overly obnoxious. I told you, I made about 3 videos. I talk about the worlds that should have been in this game because by 2019, you know how many freaking Disney movies were out at this time? Do you know how many freaking Disney movies were out at this time? It literally makes no sense. Absolutely no sense for Star Wars to have not been in this game. Why are we in Arendelle? Did you get more money to hear, do you want to build this now? Like, for the billionth time. Did you get more money for that? Did you know there was a Mulan 2? Yeah, it freaking sucked, and I'll admit that. But I would have rather been back in Mulan world than in Corona. If you had Corona, why'd you have Arendelle? If you had Arendelle, why'd you have Corona? Those places look too similar. There's no reason why you should be talking or going over there. Why don't you go somewhere where there's actually combat, like Merida's world? You had the rights to Merida at this time. But we go to Monsters Incorporated after the story's already been told. But you cannot do that. You cannot sit there and understand that no one wants to see the movie. If we wanted to see the movie, we'll just go on Disney Plus and watch the movie there. And then go beat for beat on Pirates of the Caribbean world. And at the same time, beat for beat in Arendelle. That's not how life works, bro. That's why people think it sucks. There were so many movies, like I said, go to my channel, go to my videos that I talk about the worlds that should have been. How long are we going to sit here until we finally get Atlantis? There are so many worlds that could integrate actual combat mechanics that I felt like it was super strange that we did Halloween twice for 1 and 2. It was really strange for me. And it was really strange for me to see freaking Agrabah twice in 1 and 2. You acting like those are the only movies you got. Did you realize that Lion King has a second part? It's not as good as the first one. It's not. I'll admit that. But why not go back there? Because you have no imagination and you're trash. Yeah, I forgot. I also made a video about Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC. Like, remind me why I should still care anymore. And a video breaking down the real original Organization 13 members because Nomura was too lazy to use any brain power to integrate all of the old ones, and freaking he added clones and replicas and past selves of Xehanorts. How dare you talk about clones and us not go to Star Wars world? Like I said, unacceptable. What I will say about Remind is it should have been in the original game, not DLC. It's kind of like, oh yeah, here's this. Throwing freaking bones to a dog. That's what he did. That's what Remind is. And another thing, if it was going to be DLC, it should have been in the game. DLC is downloadable content, not content that should have been already in the game. Which is literally everything that Remind is. It retells certain things and then makes it to where you can play as different characters than it should have already been in the game. Take your L. Don't pretend like it was there to begin with. And then make us spend money for it. Even though I got deluxe edition. Every DLC, when you get a deluxe edition, every DLC should come with that deluxe edition. What is the point of me paying $79.99? What is the point of me paying $80 for something when it's not going to provide me anything else except the game? That tapestry was like, wipe my anus crack. I don't care about that tapestry. I didn't even get no figurine or anything. The only good thing I got, I paid $70 for a pen because I collect Disney pens. That was it. And I don't even know where that freaking thing is. Oh my gosh. Remind was just literally, I feel, you know how I feel about DLC that's just missing pieces of a game behind a paywall. Remind Me was that. And that pathetic excuse for a game 3.2, or what they like to call Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, is dumb, and I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not. What's the point? What's the point of even talking about Melody of Memories? I'm done. That was it. That was the entire timeline, without even talking about all the integrated parts. This is literally just for people who need a rehash, because we're supposedly getting a Kingdom Hearts 4. Why do we need 4 when 3 was so pathetic? Sidebar, I really just go on YouTube and type in Kingdom Hearts 4 and you'll see people looking shocked and looking surprised, looking happy. For what though? What did you actually see that would warrant that big of a oh my gosh? The only thing that I was shocked about was that Sora's shoes look normal. And that just doesn't make sense, because weren't we in China where everybody's clothes look normal? Like, everybody just looked like humans. So don't blame it on him being in Final Fantasy World. Stop giving them ideas, because all he does is listen to y'all and while drunk, half listens, and then does stuff in the dark. Literally He cannot see anything. He's got a pen and paper and he writes down what he thinks he heard through a muffled wall in another room. So that's what happens. Stop saying that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be the greatest Kingdom Hearts because we've got all these new things. When Kingdom Hearts 3 had Arendelle. Just let that sink in. We're not going to get Turning Red. We're not going to get Encanto. We're not going to get Coco. I hope you guys know that. We're like 12 plus games in. And we have never been to Atlantis. I'm not talking about Atlantica, by the way, not Atlantica. Atlantica is where Ariel is before someone starts getting in my comments talking about how wrong I am. We've never been to Atlantis. We've never been to Lilo and Stitch World. We've never been to Brave World. All optimal places that Sora could have gone. And he knows people there, by the way. We've never been to Star Wars. Star Wars was acquired how long ago? Thank you. No. Stop saying that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be the best one because we've got all these new movies to put in. They don't care. They never look at the good movies or the movies that would actually even make sense in that world. Princess and the Frog has the Shadow Man who could literally summon Heartless. But you do not have good people on your team to even warrant any sort of I'm giving you no grace. No grace. What for what? So you can disappoint me? No. Monsters Incorporated was butchered in Kingdom Hearts 3. So was Toy Story. In my opinion, Toy Story's story should have started when Jessie was there. It would have given you more. If you didn't want to be up in the house, it would have given you more places to go. But no, you did some alternate reality worlds with double worlds so we wouldn't have to deal with no mechanic that would be like, Andy's coming, fall down. Isn't that a mechanic? Didn't we have something similar? I'm saying very loosely similar to Beauty and the Beast world where we had to move and do certain things and had to, like, what happened to those mini games that actually warranted me to use any brain cells? Like I said, stop saying Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be good because of all the new movies and all the acquired things. We're not going to get any of it. We're not going to get any of it. We didn't get any in 3. What makes you think we're going to get anything in 4? What makes you freaking think that? Did something change? Was Nomura fired? Did somebody do something? Answer me. All right. So I'm going to be ranking these games before we get into the next part of this video real quick. So rankings. In 12th place, we have Melody of Memories. It knows why. In 11th, we have Kingdom Hearts 3. It was pathetic, too gaudy. You had ample amount of opportunity, ample amount of time to get it the freak together. Put decent enough gameplay. You had ample amount of time to figure out what you were going to do with these Organization 13 members. And you decided to bring back Replica Riku for what? So he could fly away? So he could, what was the point of that? And then you kiss Xemnas to the sky and let him go to heaven after literally killing Kairi, slapping her in the back with a Keyblade. Thinking about Kingdom Hearts 3 makes my head hurt because I told you I spent $79 on it and I didn't even finish it. It's such a waste of money. It's a waste of time. You wasted 13 years. People, it didn't take 13 years. Whatever. 13-year myth. I don't care. You had ample amount of time. There's absolutely no reason. Literally. Okay, let's talk about this. Disney has always been Disney, right? So Disney has rights to Disney. Mickey is in this game. Mickey was in 2. If you can have Mickey the Mouse in your game, you can have anything that Disney has. Mickey Mouse is his bread and butter. If you have rights to Mickey Mouse, you have rights to everything. Do not let the wool be put over your eyes. So Pixar was acquired in 2006. Any Pixar movie, and you decide freaking Big Hero 6, and not even the good parts of Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 actually had a decent enough story for you to actually integrate it into the story of Kingdom Hearts. Star Wars was acquired in 2012. Marvel was acquired at 2009. Kingdom Hearts 3 was released January 25th, 2019. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2005. It's just unacceptable. Pixar was right there. Star Wars was right there. Marvel was right there. And you decide, we need to hear, do you want to build a snowman again? Nice. Yeah, that's why you're pathetic. That's why Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of the worst games. And if Melody of Memories wasn't considered a game on its own and not freaking... it looks like downloadable content for 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is in 11th place. In 10th place, we have Recoded. Can you believe that Recoded beat Kingdom Hearts 3? Can you believe that? A game that I didn't play and I will never play. There's no reason except Kingdom Hearts 3 is worse. 9, Union Cross. It's another reason why Kingdom Hearts is in the trash right now, because Union Cross adds extra stuff that didn't need to be there. 8, a fragmented passage or whatever. I don't know what it's called, fragmentary. It's 8 because it's like, again, like I said, it should have been a part of Birth by Sleep. It's unacceptable by itself. It's not big enough to be a game on its own, and I don't know why it exists. It doesn't tell us anything, and it has no bearing on Kingdom Hearts 3 where it transitions to. 7, we have Dark Road. Again, Xehanort Saga. I really hate Xehanort. I love Xemnas. Xemnas is the better looking out of Ansem, Xehanort, and all them. I feel like Ansem and Xemnas could have had a situation, something could have happened to where we did not need no old crusty geezer that looks like someone's left testicle to be the big baddie. We did not need Xehanort, and Dark Road is dumb. Number 6, we have Birth by Sleep. Told you one of the reasons why Kingdom Hearts fails is because it adds too much extra stuff that didn't need to be there. Aqua, Terra, Ventus, Vanitas, all them suck. Don't like them. Why are you here? Bye. Get going. Number 5, we have Dream Drop Distance. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it still adds on to this whole Xehanort thing. They make it seem like these people didn't care about Xemnas at all. I feel like there should have been something to where it's not like, oh, I just want darkness. It's just like, how come people act like no one cared about Xemnas at all, being in Organization 13? And it's interesting because Zexion made it seem like he actually cared about the camaraderie of the people in Organization 13. And you can shut up about they didn't have hearts, they didn't know compassion, because Axel was the exception to the rule, as well as Larxene. Almost every person acted like they had a heart. Like I said in my other video, Xemnas lied to them. They weren't getting their hearts. He lied. Like, it's just unacceptable. I hate Dream Drop Distance. Could have been good, was terrible. Number 4, we have Kingdom Hearts 2. Introducing Roxas and Naminé and all that. Just pathetic. Hate that. It was annoying to see Riku sitting on the sidelines and just staring at Sora from afar because he's like, oh, I don't want you to see what I've become, a black man. Like, literally, I'm done with that. Number 3, you have Rechain of Memories. One of the only good things about Rechain of Memories was the fact that it actually humanized and characterized the Organization 13 members that we're supposed to care about, but it falls short because what on earth was that gameplay? No one ever said, oh yeah, let's get those cards back. Let's play card games. Let's do that. 2, we have 358 over 2 days, literally. There's an idea that I have that I'm patenting right now, that I'm saying right now is my idea. No one else can take this, or you owe me money. The Office, the premise of how The Office was done should be the exact same way they should do for the Organization 13 members. Original. I'm not talking about no replica Riku. Get that the freak out of here. Step on. I'm talking about Axel, Lexius, Larxene, Marluxia, all them. They should be living their life, going on little missions, and it's like The Office type situation. It's like they're the way it is. You know what I mean? And number 1, we have Kingdom Hearts 1. It will always be the best. It will always be superior to all of them. I literally wish it ended there. Literally, like, Kairi, still from 1 to 3, out of all these games, out of freaking 12 freaking gosh darn games, and how many remakes and final mixes, Kairi is still pathetic, useless, trash. And people are asking Nomura, what about this? What about that? What about, oh, if I tell you here, I won't tell you in the games. Are you threatening us over a game we don't have to buy? He literally has some gall to be threatening us over a game. Fanfic is better than what you have to offer, dude. When people say hire fans, sometimes it's super hyperbolic and annoying and dumb. But honestly, you need to hire fans because you are not doing it. You're not doing a good job. It's really pathetic. And someone needs to tell him that it's pathetic. It's not bad. It's not could use improvement. No, he's threatening us, talking about if I tell you what Demix's name is, I ain't never telling you in the games like some thug gangster. Are you serious? This is not an exchange of gangsterness. I'm not going to gangster back at you. I'm just not going to buy your games. How about that? Easy, simple, easy. Freaking Kingdom Hearts 4 looks like freaking Final Fantasy. If you wanted to make a Final Fantasy game, maybe you shouldn't have flipped the mustard and freaking fumbled the bag. You should have did what you needed to do so you could stay on some Final Fantasy group project or whatever you got kicked off of. And then you're taking it out on Kingdom Hearts. I wish it ended in Kingdom Hearts 1 because everything you made after that was pathetic and disgusting. And recently, while I'm recording this, I just saw there's another one of those Union Cross type games, prequel type games. I'm literally everything after 3 that I've just told you in my rankings, just put it after the last thing that I said on the list. Put everything new behind Melody of Memories. It can only get worse from here. That concludes part 1, okay? That concludes part 1. The next part I will be talking about my rewrite of Kingdom Hearts 3 and all the things that may change based on that. And then the last part will be me talking about why Kingdom Hearts is a failure today. Hope you liked it. Subscribe if you like it. Check out my other videos, things that I don't talk about here. I'm sure I talked about in my other videos. Link is in the description to my Kingdom Hearts playlist, my Resident Evil playlist, my other playlists. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to get a sip of water because I've been talking for hours. I may do the 5 reasons before the rewrite because the rewrite is going to take a long time for me to write down. So you may not see part 2 and 3 for a long time. So please don't hold your breath. I hope you enjoyed this one. There are plenty other videos, so many other videos I have on my channel. If you don't like Kingdom Hearts, if you don't like Resident Evil, I'm sure there's something that you'll like on my channel. Thank you. I wished Kingdom Hearts was so good like it used to be. And like I said, the fact that it wasn't perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're nowhere near it when it comes to 3, and you are nowhere near close to ready to even get back into another numeral game. Go back to the drawing board. Figure that out. You make me sick. Goodbye.